brings us to Bryan's video, and we're gonna try not to be such cunts with Bryan's, because Bryan probably was the one of the most people that we hurt the most in this game, so we're gonna be a little nicer to Bryan. Okay, so for Rob, what I'd like to know is why did you decide to save me at the vote after the merge rather than get rid of me when you first had the chance? It's clear that I never truly factored in into your plans. I don't really have much to say to you because we never talked game all that much. I agree with Ashley that I'm pretty much over this whole game and feels like we dragged on forever. No offense, Andrew. It's clear that in the end that no one was really into the game and everyone was just content to let things play out the way they did.
Okay, I did try to get you out of the merge, actually. I don't know if you're aware, there was a plan to get you voted out, and Victoria was going to help us do that, but she didn't really want to do it. I think she was kind of not wanting to do that to you, and it makes sense now, especially because I didn't realize you guys were as tight, I think, at that point as you guys really were. So I know she was trying to look for other alternatives, but you getting voted out relied on a master plan. And that master plan was that we were going to tell everyone that Austin was going, because for some unforeseen reason I can't explain, we thought that Austin had a hidden immunity idol. I know it sounds stupid now in retrospect, but at the time, like, it made perfect sense. Just trust me on this. So we were going to tell everybody Austin was the one going, and actually I think she was actually going to vote for Austin in case the idol was actually used, so that she wouldn't have to vote against you. The rest of us Raw folks would vote for Bryan, Anubis would vote for whoever they were going to vote for, and it would have been a majority for Bryan, and you would have left. However, you can thank Alyssa. Alyssa told the one person who was not supposed to know about that plan, and that was Nick D, because we knew you guys were tight. When she told Nick D about the plan, I was kind of pissed. And what I thought was interesting is that, you know, and I love you, Alyssa, but I was so mad strategically. Strategically, I was so mad. I think one thing that's interesting is, Bryan, you never really knew who was throwing your name around camp. And, you know, I can't really say it was me. I think all the Raw people recognized that you were a big threat at that time, but that plan was something that we had devised up, that we were trying to carry out, and when Alyssa kind of put a monkey wrench in that by telling Nick D, I was just kind of like, we can't, if she's going to tell people the strategies, we can't strategize with her, we need a new plan quick. Well, my God, like 1 hour later, you came to me with the whole me, Victoria, Nick D, you thing, and I kind of took it with a grain of salt, but I went for it, and it worked out, so thank you for being a trusted ally, even though I was trying to get you back, or get you out a lot sooner than I think you realize. And I guess I'm sorry, but it's Survivor. You knew your name was being thrown around.
One of the big reasons why I didn't want you to go at the merge was because I remembered what happened last time in SLJ 15, and I was like, Bryan deserves to be on the jury. Bryan deserves to be on the jury for all the shit that he's gone through and all the shit that he went through in SLJ 15. I did not want to see you go at jury time, because that would mean you getting cut short of the jury again, and that has to be a bitch. I can totally understand. So that's the reason why I was so nervous to vote for you that time. I didn't want to do it, and I told him, I said I wouldn't do it. So
I want to say one other thing about Alyssa getting voted out, in case she's watching this video, which she probably is. Also, I think you should know that your social game was pretty good, and you were good in challenges, even though you won't admit it. You did incredible in that maze challenge. I felt horrible that you went like the week after that maze challenge, but it is what it is. It had to be. We kind of feared if it got down to Raw plus Victoria that you, Ash, and Mark would have been a deadly alliance. So that's why things went down the way they did, in case you were wondering. I think that was a tangent of Bryan's question, sorry, but I wanted to get that out at some point. Victoria, you ready?
Oh, yes.
Bitch, you strung me along this whole time, letting me believe that you had my back, but I really think you never did. Way to play the role of Josh L in this game. I thought in the back of my mind, before I was stabbed in the back, that there was something fishy going on, especially when in that immunity challenge, almost immediately after I told you my word, I got a strike from Robin, someone who only you, me, and Josh knew from Survivor Live Journal 15. Typo. I really would like to know why you decided that you would rather go to the final 3 with Josh instead of keeping the people who you made promises to early in the game. Why did Rob's ally get preferential treatment? I just don't understand why you tried to do something the dirty way when you could have gotten the same outcome by keeping your word and keeping the sure votes you would have had from me, Nick, and jury. It's going to take a lot to convince me to vote for you after what you did.
I understand that. I completely understand that. But Bryan, I'd like you to think back to the very first challenge. When you came to me and you said, I don't want to be voted out of this game at this early, and I made it so. So people were ready to vote for Heather, or to keep Heather in the game over you. And I didn't want that to happen. I wanted you on my side, and I wanted you with me in this game because I knew how strong of a person you are, how strong of a competitor, and how strong of a person in this game that you are, whether in challenge or in social game, because you can do both. You have both of that going for you. And I think that's the main reason why I decided to do what I did at the time that I decided to do what I did. I could have taken you to the final 3 with me if I wanted to. We could have voted Josh out instead of voting for you. But the reason I decided to vote with Rob and Josh was because, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Josh, I had a feeling that I knew that Rob and I could overcome him and get to the final 2 as opposed to overcoming you. And you are an amazing competitor, and you are an amazing person at challenges, and you are an amazing person at social game, and you are an amazing person all around. And you know that. And I just, again, I did what I had to do to make sure that this got to where it was. And I'm so sorry, Bryan. I was so sorry that I had to vote you out, and that I did what I did, because that is a shady ass thing. I was talking to Becca today, and she was like, "You totally played me in this game," and I said, "I know I did, but I did exactly what she did to me, to you, and that wasn't right." But I realized that it wasn't right, and that I felt, you know, horribly for it. And just when you IM'd me after the tribal council was posted, excuse me, and you said, "Why? Just tell me why." And I was like, "I have no idea why." Because I'm a horrible, stupid bitch who should have done what I did. You know, but I do apologize, and I know that my apology isn't going to mean anything and whatever, because the outcome is still the outcome. But just remember why you are where you are. I'm not trying to say that I brought you to this game, but I did get people to vote for Heather as opposed to voting for you, because they knew you had won games before, and they knew how strong you were. So, you know, if it wasn't for me telling people to vote for Heather, you would have been gone instead of her. And you wouldn't even been remotely close to being where you were in this game. So, just keep that in mind when you're voting.
Okay.